okay, wait, what? Okay, okay. Ooh. Hello, and welcome to a new video. My name is Smriti, and do not mind the mess behind me. Just ignore it all because I am very excited, y'all. In just how many minutes? In 6 minutes, I don't know if you can see, but in 6 minutes, the Booker Prize long list is going to be announced, and I am excited because as Moira Rose once said, her favorite season is award season, and so is mine. Because we just got done with the Women's Prize as well as the Booker International Prize, and now we are here at like the big daddy of it all. Because to be honest, the Booker Prize is like basically kind of like the Oscars of the book world. We may not agree each and every time a long list comes out or like the short list comes out and then like the winner is announced, but we still follow it immensely and then just get very excited about it as well. So in just 6 minutes it's going to be announced, the long list. And just in case you do not know what the Booker Prize is, it's essentially a prize that started in 1969. So if my math is mathing, I think this is the 53rd year of the prize, and essentially the long-listed authors or books will be chosen from books that have been published in the UK and Ireland from the date of October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. So it also includes books that haven't come out just yet. So which is why people get very excited to kind of guess what the long list is, and people put up like videos and posts with like their predictions. I of course do not have all of that knowledge, and I just go by vibes and general like, hey, I think that it might be this. So I have made a list and you can see that here. I will not go through all of it. So the long list is usually 13 books, and I did this last year as well where I predicted 18 books. Like I had my 13 books and then like 5 maybes. So you can check out that video if you want to see my reactions for last year's long list. Anyway, I am really excited about this year. I think that there are some really interesting books that have come out. A lot of these books I don't think have like come to India just yet, but I think that there holds a lot of promise, and I'm just generally excited to see what the long list might be. So right now we have 2 more minutes left, so I'm just gonna like relax and then like be constantly refreshing the Booker website to see who the winners are. Okay, so the Booker long list is announced, and I'm okay, just okay, one sec. Oh my god, okay, wait, what? Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm seeing. Ooh, I was right again. Ooh. Okay. All right. Okay, so it says the long list of the Booker Prize 2022 has been announced, featuring the youngest and oldest authors ever to be nominated, as well as the shortest book, 3 debuts, and 2 new publishers receiving their first ever nominations. So essentially, like, a publisher can't really submit too many books. That's essentially how it works. You can submit only like 1 book, and if the person has like, if the author has won a Booker Prize before, then it automatically also gets submitted to the judges to like read and then like long list and short list. So okay, but where is the goddamn list? I just want to see the list. Okay, it just has like a video. I don't want to see the video. I just want to just show me the list of the books. Don't. This is very annoying. They just have a video. How do I react to a Alright, so the news I went to the news to get an actual list because the Booker Prize website does not actually like list out the books. They just have like a website, so like I can't look at them because they just keep scrolling by. So anyway, okay, the first book is Glory by Novailit Bulawayo, which is a book that was on my prediction list and I think was on everyone's predictions list because it's just so typical of the Booker to have like this sort of book, but also it just sounds so amazing. It's basically a retelling, or like it's inspired by the amazing novel Animal Farm by George Orwell, and through like this empire of animals, or like this land of animals, we get to basically see the coup that took place in Zimbabwe in 2007, where basically the president of like 40 years, Mugabe, was like dethroned essentially. And yeah, like I just heard like absolutely amazing things about this book. I've heard like that it's brutally funny, super satirical, but like also just like hits you with all the sort of understanding that of everything that happened during this time. And I just think that it'll just be really really interesting. And yeah, another book is Trust by Hernan Diaz, which is another book that was on my predictions list. This is a book that's been getting a lot of buzz because essentially it's about like these people in the 1920s. One is like a Wall Street tycoon and the other is like a heiress, and they're married to each other. And it's about like them being in the limelight, but there's also a book that's like come out about them, so it's like sort of a book within a book. And it talks about like how what things might be projected may not be what it seems and stuff like that. I don't quite know too much about it, but I have been dying to read it, so very excited about that. Ooh, another one that I've also been really excited to read is The Trees by Percival Everett, and this basically is like a literary detective novel sort of thing, where we're following this detective who is seeing this case or something that happened in like the American South, where there is like some sort of lynching thing happening, and there's something to do with like racial tensions and all of that sort of stuff. And I've heard just a lot about Percival Everett. He is like huge in the US, but not so much in like other countries just yet. So I think I am just really excited to read this book and see what it's about. This book, which is Booth by Karen Joy Fowler, I do not know what the book is about, but I have seen the like cover and I was really fascinated by it. So let me do a quick googling to understand what it might be about. Oh Jesus, okay. Okay, so this book is basically about John Wilkes Booth, who is like the infamous person who killed Abraham Lincoln, and we're essentially following his family and what all happened, because apparently his father was like a huge Shakespearean like actor, and like the entire family was really theatrical. And as we know, John Wilkes Booth killed Lincoln in a theater. So we're essentially seeing what happens to the family as well as like other things, I guess, and like what led up to this decision. I don't know, that just sounds really really interesting. I didn't know that it was about that. Okay, the next one is also a book that I do not know, which is called Treacle Walker by Alan Garner. Again, gonna have to Google this one, hold on. Alright, okay, so this one seems interesting. It's sort of like a coming of age book about this boy who is introduced to this guy called Treacle Walker, who is a wanderer and a healer, and an unlikely friendship is forged, and the young boy is introduced to a world he could have never imagined. I don't know if I'm interested in that book, but like, okay, I mean, I never heard of it. Next one is a book by Shehan Karuna Tilaka, which is The Seven Moons of Mali Almeida, which, and it's by Sort of Books, which is like a publisher that I've never heard of ever in my life. So that's really interesting. Let us see what it is about. Oh, okay. This is the author who wrote this book called Chinaman, and it's basically he's a Sri Lankan author, and it basically follows Mali Almeida, who is a war photographer, gambler, and closet queen, and he's woken up dead in what seems like a celestial visa office, and he has 7 days to basically like contact the man and woman that he loves the most and lead them to a hidden cache of photos that will rock Sri Lanka. So like that just sounds really interesting. This is when during the peak of the civil strife that was going on in Sri Lanka, and I just think that, oh my god, okay, this sounds really interesting, and I would be really keen to read this book. The next one is Claire Keegan's Small Things Like These. This just won the Orwell Prize for Fiction, which is basically this prize that started about like 4 or 5 years ago about political fiction. And I honestly don't know what this book is about, and I don't really want to Google it, so I'm sorry about that because I've heard that this is a really tiny book. It's about like 150-ish pages, and I've heard that it's a really well done. Personally, I want to go into this sort of blind and not knowing anything. I think it follows something to do with the Irish struggles, but I don't really want to know too much, to be honest. So I am sorry, but you were going to have to Google what this book is about because I don't want to know nothing and I just want to read it. Okay, another book and author that I have never heard of, and that is Case Study by Graham McCrae Burnett. So let us Google what that is about. Oh my. What? Oh my god, this is a real person? Okay, so essentially, we are following this woman, who is this guy a real dude? Okay, I need to find this out. But essentially, we are following this young woman who believes that a charismatic psychotherapist, Collins Braithwaite, has driven her sister to suicide, and she firmly believes this. So what she does is she disguises herself as like someone else and goes and registers herself as a client and decides to start writing down like these things in a notepad, about like her sessions with this man and all of that sort of stuff. And apparently it says like he presents this book with as notebooks interspersed with his own biographical research into Collins Braithwaite. I can't say the surname, whatever this is. And the result is dazzling and often wickedly humorous. And it is a meditation on the nature of sanity, identity, and truth itself. And that just sounds really like interesting. Jesus, okay, I never heard of this, but that sounds awesome. The next one is also a book that I really want to read, and it is The Colony by Audrey McGee. And this one basically follows like this Frenchman and this Englishman who go to a small island in Ireland, and basically how them going there brings about a lot of like changes and like things start happening in that island, and it's how like they interact with them and like something like that. It's just like insidious almost, I think. And I want to read it, so I don't really want to know too much more, but I hope that gives you like an understanding. Another book I heard of very recently, honestly, while I was looking at other people's predictions for the Booker Prize, and that is this one, which is Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Maddie Mortimer. And this one is essentially told through the lens of the cancer that is in a person's body. So it's like the cancer is talking to you about this body that it is in, I think. And like I just think that's really fascinating, and just like I don't know what that would possibly look like or like read like, but like just sounds really interesting. And like I've heard some like really good things about it ever since like I started googling it, because I just thought that it sounded amazing. So yeah, so I'm excited to read that one too. Okay, and we're on to our last three, and the third last book that is on this list is Nightcrawling by Layla Motley, and I think this is a debut book. And essentially we are following like a brother and sister, a brother who wants to be like a rapper, and like a sister who's just doing everything to like make sure that like they have enough money to survive. And essentially something happens, and she is got into this world of night crawling. I don't know exactly what that means, but like honestly, again, this is a sort of book that I've heard really, really good things about, and I can't wait to read it to understand more of like this world. But yeah, it's just really interesting. Okay, and the next book is a book that I've heard of, but I don't quite know what it's about. So I'm just gonna read out this thing. But it's called After Sappho, a novel by Selby Wynne Schwartz. And essentially it says, writing in cascading vignettes, Selby Wynne Schwartz spins an invigorating tale of women whose narratives converge and splinter as they forge queer identities and claim the right to their own lives. A luminous meditation on creativity, education, and identity, After Sappho announces a writer as ingenious as the trailblazers of our past. So that just sounds really interesting. I honestly like have a little bit of like goosebumps just like reading that out aloud to you. So that is a book that I am definitely gonna pick up as well. And the last one is Oh William by Elizabeth Stout. Now I know that Elizabeth Stout has a lot of books that she has written, like something about like Lucy Barton and all of that sort of stuff. And I think that this is part of that series. So yes, it is. It is basically about Lucy Barton, and this book is about her ex-husband William, who is a hard man to read, blah blah blah. Again, I don't want to know too much about this because I think it will spoil me for the previous books, but yeah, those are the books that have been long listed. I think that it's a pretty great like long list. I'm really like excited for most of the books. Let's see how many I got right. Okay, so I got 6 right out of 13, which again isn't bad. Just some books that I really wish would have been part of this list. I wish that The Swimmers would have been part of the list. I was hoping that The Last White Man by Mohsen Hamid would have been part of this list. I'm really surprised that Lapvona, which is by Otesha Mostfag, is not part of this list because I've heard really good things about it and I think that it would have been really good. But apart from that, I think that like it's done a pretty good job in terms of like the list itself. Out of the entire list that is there, I think I will be reading 9 books, but let's see what actually comes out of it. I don't think I am going to be reading the entire long list, but I definitely might be reading the short list. I keep saying this but then never end up doing it, so this year I am dedicated and like determined to do that. So yeah, so I definitely will be reading the shortlist as well as the books that I think I find really interesting. So those are these 9 books. And yeah, okay, I'm really excited for it. Do let me know what you think of the long list. Are you excited? Are you disappointed? What are your thoughts? And yeah, what book are you most excited to read? Let me know. And then let's get reading, guys. This is exciting. Okay, I hope you're doing well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.